Next to me, I've got Matt Wood, the PR and Media Manager from Volvo Group. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
It's not often that the journalist runs into a former journalist and a former colleague at a conference.
Absolutely.
Behind, in front of the camera. So
Who'd have thought we'd end up in this situation a few years ago, right?
Absolutely. Now, Matt, driving the difference is the theme here for the annual conference and tackling these challenges. So what exactly is Volvo doing in closing that gap?
Well, we're tackling it at a number of different levels. So, actually, fun fact, I am the only bloke in an all-female team for a start. So,
you're doing something right.
I call myself the diversity hire. But so we've set not so much quotas but targets, right? So the company is actively working to change, the gender balance within the leadership team, for example. So currently we're sitting at about 32% female representation on the board. We've actually got a target of 50.
Okay.
But at workshop level, even we've got a similar kind of approach. So our company-owned dealerships, the VCV network, currently we've got 5 female technicians. We've actually got a target over the next 3 years to increase that to 27.
Wow, and how do you do that?
That's the challenge, right? But I think a lot of it is also it's creating an environment where people want to work, and also I think one of the things with promoting diversity in a workshop, I'm going to just backtrack a little bit. So one of the things with the labour shortages, and I've noticed increasingly, say, trucking operators, you get this like, I'm so desperate for drivers, I'll even employ women. And you're just like, what did you just say? Like, can you quantify the benefits of that diversity brings to a workplace? We've heard some of that this morning. I've seen it time and time again, right? So it's not like just we need people to fill roles because there's this shortage in this area. It's actually really good for your workplace. It actually makes it more productive. It makes the culture improves. As that improves, it becomes a more desirable workplace to work. So it's about building that momentum.
How's that increased and improved Volvo Group as a result of diversity?
I think what you find is that you get diversity of thought and ideas, which we've heard about, but also you get a lot more diversity in the voices. So you get a workplace where people aren't just going to sort of toe the line just because that's how we've always done it. People will actually question and challenge safely. It's a safe space to actually do that. And that's how you innovate, right? Things are moving quicker. Volvo Group itself is on a massive transformation journey globally, and it's not and diversity is a part of it. So I could stand here and waffle on about electric trucks and sustainability targets and all that sort of stuff, but the things are all interlinked. A diverse workplace, an environmentally sustainable company, and that actually contributes to society, our society being a better place to live. It's all interlinked. It's not just this one little isolated thing. We're touching on the little isolated bit here, but it's a part of a wider chain.
Yeah. Now, Matt, we've heard that more needs to be done within the primary and secondary school levels to attract and to promote the industry. What is Volvo doing, Volvo Group?
So I have to admit that that's probably an area where we've been a little bit hit and miss. So we've had some TAFE involvement, very much so, probably more centred around Sydney, New South Wales. There's been some patchy regional initiatives, but we've not had really a cohesive kind of approach. And I think that's something that we will definitely be working on, especially as we heard this morning, that when you've got organisations you can liaise with that can help facilitate that, it makes it a lot easier, that somebody's giving you a hand to get it out there. Because it's not just about trucks. I mean, we're Australia's largest automotive manufacturer. We have engineers, we have people building trucks on assembly lines, we have, and yes, there's truck drivers and mechanics and stuff like that, but it's, and you see people progress through the company, that, might start off in an industrial role that get moved into a white collar role, and stuff like that. And even from a workshop tech, plenty of those people, guys so far, but hopefully girls in the future, jump the divide and end up working in head office and product roles and stuff like that. And then the world becomes your oyster, right? Then it's like overseas assignments, all that sort of stuff. You know, it becomes a pretty exciting journey.
How are you tracking compared to Scandinavia when it comes to that? And what are you learning from their examples as well?
I think we've got a lot to learn from Scandinavia for a start. You know, the approach. I think Australia has probably is got a lot to catch up on, really. But we're taking a lot of our cues from Scandinavia because we see the evidence, right? Like, I didn't just make up that it makes a workplace a better place to work. As we've seen, you know, our headquarters and stuff like that become more diverse, and you see the results of that. You know, it gives you something to aspire to as a local market. And and a lot of the targets that we adopted are based on the Scandinavian model. So, but especially with the executive board, you know, and stuff like that, you know, making sure that we have a diverse leadership team. I mean, that's vitally important.
Yeah. So overall, and lastly, how closely do you work with the transport industry?
I would say, again, we've probably been a little bit patchy at times. We've had involvement in some programs, but I think again, having a wider concerted effort, I think we need help. Like, again, a program with a structure that we can sort of participate in. Yeah, because we're good at building trucks. We may not be so good at sort of you know, educating or promoting you know, careers in a broader sense, and I think that's where we could do better. You know, we've got some great messaging, and like every now and then some great stuff happens and we talk about it and we say it's great, but in terms of a consistent sort of program, that's probably somewhere we've got some work to do. But you know, the good thing though is that even though that is the case, there is a commitment to make a difference, you know, to promote it. It's not just oh crap, we've got to do this because that's what other people are doing. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Matt. Matt Wood from Volvo Group. Such a pleasure to run into you again.
Great to chat.
Cheers. Bye.